There are a lot of problems with dating, but a lot of those problems stem from the place of women being taught to hyper-focus on their own shortcomings and ignore any real concerns that men may have. You're always just lucky to be considered. And for the most part on this channel, we talk about deconstructing the idea that romance is the center of life. But what I've talked about a lot on TikTok and Instagram as well, because I just tend to post there because it's quicker to just whip out your phone and record, is how to use strategies and methodologies that help you to date safely, help you to really understand who you are, what your needs are, and if the people in your life are giving you that. So that said, after my videos about value-based dating for casual dating and starting at zero for all dating went viral on TikTok and Instagram, a lot of people were asking me, how do I do value-based dating? How do I start at zero instead of starting at 100, which is the ideal of overvaluing somebody that you don't even know? And my response to that was I made a workbook. And since I already said all the stuff and things about value-based dating and starting at 0 instead of 100, this is going to be one of those videos where it's vertical. You don't have to call me names and tell me, oh my God, I know it's vertical. I made this video. I posted it, babes. I just don't think it makes sense for me to re-record all of that because it's already been said. It was well said, I think. So I'm just going to include the vertical videos about value-based dating starting at 0 in the workbook. I am super excited that so many of you found me through Autism for Evil, that real video. But the responses under that did lead me to say, hey, I should start this video with letting them know that this is going to be vertical because it was filmed originally for TikTok and Instagram. And I'm so glad that you're here and you're completely within your right to circle back when I start posting more made for YouTube videos coming soon. I took a little winter break. That's okay. It's not okay to leave me 100 comments like, oh my God, I know, I posted it. You can scroll. I still love you. You can come back later. All of that to say. Casual Dating 101, what does it mean to create a value point? Yesterday I posted a carousel on Instagram describing a better way to conceptualize casual dating. And a big question I got was, what do you mean by identify the value point of your dating partner? Well, it's stated since respect and affection is non-negotiable, you shouldn't be dating at all, even casually, if you think that us not being committed is a good reason to disrespect me or be cold. You like me or you don't. You have to identify the benefit or the value point of dating a person that you do not have a long-term future with. For example, Bobby and I had a lot of chemistry. I thought he was impeccably charming and incredibly handsome. And since on the first date, we both were able to identify that we were not compatible for a long-term partnership, I dated him for his charm. When I evaluated whether the relationship with Bobby was working or not, I did not rate him as a long-term partner. I rated him on my ability to access the thing that I came to him for, which was charm. On the other end of the spectrum, when I casually dated Jack, he was not charming. But I enjoyed my ability to turn my brain off when I was around him. He took care of everything. He dealt with waitstaff if the order was incorrect at dinner, was amazing at putting plans together, and he enjoyed expressing his affections through acts of service. Point being, when you're interested in dating casually, the easiest way to have a good time and not get lost in the sauce or gaslight yourself. Because again, it's not about detaching, because part of the fun of dating is getting to know someone, enjoying them, and embracing intimacy and affection. It's about staying focused about why you are engaging with that person. A lot like the concept of having different friends for different things. I'm going to string a lot together here, so walk with me for a moment. There's a prevalent idea that girls that have mommy issues are always in competition with other girls. Every individual is different, but I would like to submit that it's not that. It's that girls with mommy issues know that anybody can turn on them at any time. Therefore, there is no point of no return with them relationally. What does that mean? It means we'll never be so close that I assume that you'll never hurt me. I'm willing to be suspicious of anybody at any time. And if we assume for a moment that the theory that men start at 0, women start at 100 is true, then I would also submit that women with mommy issues are more like men in building relationships. And I honestly think that anybody dating straight men could benefit from that mindset. Starting at 0 means that I have no value in a person until they build that up. The reason it's so hard for most women to walk away at the first red flag is because they are starting at 100 and subtracting. The guy loses points over time instead of earning them over time. But men aren't afraid to lose you because you're starting at 0 and adding credit. And by the time you're done, they're not. Why? Because you've built up credit with them over time. And that's just what I was thinking about reading this text from this guy that was like, you don't even want to try to fix it? No, I met you last month. It's such a messed up way to be. You're so right, bestie. I'm the worst. You should move on, find something better. starting at zero as a methodology. You pick 10 core values that matter to you in a relationship, and then you pick 10 deal breakers that you can't accept in a relationship. The 10 values add 10 points each. The 10 deal breakers will deduct 10 points each. In reality, you can break these down to as many value adds and deal breakers as you like. I have an example bank of 100 in my workbook. We're just choosing 10 here for the sake of simplicity. And once you have your value points, you have to start doing the math. You won't want to. Something in you will say that it's mean and it's judgmental, but for all of you non-asexual uterus folk out there, why is it mean to be discriminating about who gets to come into close contact with your womb and other various internal organs? Some of you won't even eat food if the words on the back are weird, but it's mean to be real about who you are letting inside of your body and your life and your mind. Write that shit down. He did that. If he did not want you to associate the connotation of his action, be it positive or negative, with that action, he would not have done it. He knew what it was when he did it. He knew you'd perceive him doing it, or else he would not have done it, or else he thinks you're stupid or you have too little self-esteem to care, which are all alluring attributes to a man that's only interested in female attention but not accountability. Write that shit down so that you remember what he did and you can consider it within the bigger picture of who he is. Write that shit down so that this weekend when he's cute and he's charming, you're not blindly enjoying it. You're able to acknowledge that you love how charming he is while you're holding in mind that you hate whatever it is he did yesterday. And the product of that is that you're able to remember that he's a human being. He's not a god. He's not on a pedestal. He's a human being. You don't have to overvalue him because you forgot how the sucky thing he did. He's a good man, Savannah. You can value him as he is and make decisions about who you are, who you want to be in his life, and how you would like for him to interact with you based on reality. Maybe he forgets to call you back, and that's not big enough of an infraction for you to stop getting to know him. Maybe it's not even worth addressing, but maybe it's a deal breaker in respect to considering him as a serious romantic partner. So now you can fall back, do less, and keep your options open until he decides to be a little more fucking for real. But you'll eat your shirt before you explain to a man that he should call you back when he says he will. Feedback and communication are for relationships that have already established a sense of trust. You've already gotten to where you're going, and so you're doing maintenance. When you're getting to know someone, you're not going to give them an instruction blueprint on how to manipulate them. You're just going to show up and observe what is happening from a place of detachment, and tracking it, writing it down just helps you to remember who they are and how they show up in the world as a human being. I am a big proponent of you don't have to cut people off if they don't speak your specific love language. They don't want the specific things you want. That does not make them a bad person, but you will put them in the position to hurt you if you keep evaluating them or putting them in the position to access you like your life partner or whatever it is, whatever type of relationship you're evaluating. Meet people where they are. You're super great, but you don't blah, 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 blah. And I kind of need that. And you shouldn't have to change who you are for that. Again, we're just getting to know each other. We're not together. That's just not what I'm looking for. And you don't have to tell people that, because the minute you tell them what to show you to convince you that they are somebody that they are not, it opens the door to weird things. It is not personal, but it is that you want a very specific person to have access to your internal organs, trust, mind, and home. You are not a laundromat available for anybody who wants to take you for a spin. Treat this workbook like a journal. No one needs to know you have it. It's for the validating of your own reality. It's to establish trust with yourself. It's to stay in touch with your own needs and learn how to trust what you see, what you feel, your instinct, okay? But if someone happens to find out you have it or you share it and they get mad, ask yourself why somebody would be mad at you for wanting to have an accurate memory of how they treat you. Because mind you, you're reminding yourself of the good things too. You'd be surprised how many people bank on you just forgetting their actions when it comes to keeping you around. It's just for you to track your own reality for the sake of practicing self-trust.